Where you get your beats?
HustleDreamProduction.
Alright you guys, so before you actually get started, what you want to do is pick the beard out before you actually start cutting. What this does is stretches the hair to its maximum potential. That way you get an idea on how to shape it. So my client wanted his beard faded, so I'm going to start by fading downward. So using my Stylecraft instincts with the lever open, I go down about a full inch and just make sure everything is at that length. And by making sure that it's at that length, what I'm doing is stretching the skin and just going opposite ways to make sure everything is at that lever open length. Next, I'm gonna put on my one guard and basically go down about a ½ inch, and then I'm gonna close the lever and work on that middle line, softening that up and still stretching out the skin. That way you'll get everything down to that even length that you want. And right now, putting on my 0 guard with the lever fully closed, I'm flicking out that middle line, really just using my corners as much as possible, going in different directions. That way the hair can be picked up and it can look a lot more smoother. Now with no guard, with the lever fully closed, in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that top line, making sure everything runs smoothly. Even if I gotta adjust the lever as I go down, I'm doing that way it blends nice. So even with all that out the way, after you're done, setting your guidelines and taking them out, you're still gonna have to detail your work. So right now, I got my, clipper turned sideways a little bit, and I'm just kind of detailing those areas where I see bulk. So right now, I'm going to use my shavers at the top to make the transition run more smoothly into the beard. So the same thing that I did on that left side, I'm doing it right here on the right side. I go in with my lever open and I'm just, trying to stretch out the skin to get everything down to that length as much as possible. Next, putting on my one guard with the lever open, making sure I go that same width that I did with the lever open. With the 0 guard, with the lever fully closed, I'm flicking out that middle line. With the lever fully closed and a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that top line, making sure I adjust my lever as I go down. And lastly, I'm detailing my work, using my corners and basically getting in those areas where I see bulk and trying to perfect the blend as much as possible. I'm going to use my Stylecraft shavers at the top and basically just kind of bald that out. That way everything looks nice and clean. So before I line my client up, I want to prep the skin, also clean the hair that's next to the lineup. All right, I'm not going to put this shaving cream in my client's beard totally, you know what I mean, because it's a lot of work to get out. So I'm just going to put it right around those areas where, I'm going to do my lineup. So I'm going to put it on the front of the beard. I'm going to put it on the back, right here in this area where you see. I'm going to put shaving cream there. This is going to clean the skin. This is going to dry the skin as well. That way when I go to line up my client, the skin is nice and dry and you get that ash mark. And it just overall is a cleaner, better look, when you're lining up your client, to know that the skin and the hair is clean. So I'm going to use a hot towel to place over my client's beard as well. To check your hot towel on how hot it is, you want to place it on your wrist, all right? Your wrists will give you pretty much an idea how it's gonna feel on the face. If your wrist is burning, you know not to put it on your face. All right, so make sure you double check your wrist with that hot towel before placing that hot towel on your client's face. All right, just a warning. You don't want to have to snatch off the towel because your client is just like yelling and screaming. It's very embarrassing if that happens to you. So make sure you always check your rag. So I place it on my client's face and I just leave it on there for about 5 minutes. You know, come back, take it off, and just kind of massage all of the product out of my client's face. So I don't stop there. I put another hot towel on my client's face. That way I'll get all of the residue product that's, you know, just resting on my client's face in areas where I can't get out with the towel. So after that, I did go ahead and blow dry my client's face till it's dry. Make sure all the hair is nice and picked out. And what I'm doing right now is I got my lever fully closed and I'm shaping and sculpting the beard. All right. So next I'm gonna take the mustache down to a 1 with the lever fully closed. I feel like this is the perfect length for a mustache. You know, it just makes it, like I said, especially if you're doing your lineup, if you go to the edges and take it down, the 1 guard with the lever fully closed, that's a perfect length to where when you put a line on it, it comes out looking crispy and everything is laid. So right now I'm using my wall high vis trimmers to line up the top of the mustache. All right, I start there first. That way I know what kind of angle I need to curve into. All right, I don't like to start by the ear at the top and just go all the way down into the mustache, because then you don't know what you're lining into. So this sets a guideline for me to where I know how high I need to keep this beard. So most people with beards do not want you to line up their beards with a trimmer, because I feel like it brings it lower than you would if you just would go in with a razor. So I go in with my razor and I basically try to keep it as high as possible, meanwhile trying to connect it into the mustache. So the first razor line is not the final, lineup. All right, I'll always go right back in and razor it. That way I could get it as straight, as crispy as possible. line up behind the beard, you want to actually go at an arch. You don't want to make it straight down because that's going to throw off the whole shape of the beard. Notice the angle that I'm taking when I'm lining it up, right? As if it's almost as if you would just go clear across, you know, around his ear and line it in the back. That same line that's in the back of the ear should be at the same angle when you line up the beard. All right, when you line up the front of the beard, it should match the back of the neck. Alright, so I am going to put some enhancements in my client's beard just to make it pop a little bit. My client also wanted it. I'm going to spray it very lightly. I'm not going to go too heavy with it. But I do recommend this. Listen, all my students out there, learn how to cut hair first without enhancements. I cannot stress this enough. It doesn't look good if you're enhancing something that you don't know what, you don't really know the basics yet. You know what I'm saying? So stay away from enhancements as much as possible. Don't run to enhancements to try to make your line sharper, anything like that. You got to learn how to perfect the haircut first before you start using enhancements. I'm also going to be using this magic pencil. Basically, it just makes it pop. You know what I mean? It adds a little contrast between the line and the skin, and it just makes it pop even more. So right now I'm just putting it right at the line, and I'm gonna razor line it in just to make it pop even more, to leave that little white ash line. Listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in a full, well, YouTube. This is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, HustleDreamProduction, that's my brother. He does all my beats. Also, if you want to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok is official360Jeezy and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy. I'm out of here.